Welcome back to the Indigo Escape. If you're new to our channel, we are Omar and Andrea, and we bought a stone ruin house that has been abandoned for 20 years with almost 3,400 square meters of land, and are doing a pretty crazy renovation. And sometimes we ask ourselves, what have we gotten ourselves into? Because we don't have one project, we have many, and two are being worked on at the same time. We have a tiny house built, we have our first stone house room, then we have this outbuilding which will be converted in a kitchen, living, open area. Then we have the main house with a lower ground, that'll be an interesting one, and what we call the granny annex, and will likely be a workshop for a while. Then of course we have the land where we have already started a food garden, and later we'll house chickens and other animals. We aren't rich, so we are doing it on a budget. We worked as tour guides, save money and come back and build the land. We also have another member of the team, Simon, who have been indispensable in the build. To start, you don't need a lot of money, you don't need a lot of skills. You'll be surprised how little you need to be happy. You need the motivation to live a sustainable alternative lifestyle, live off the land and be mortgage free. Learn what you need to do along the journey and ask for help when you have reached your limits. So stick around and see what we do. I hope you enjoy the video.
Okay, so it's finally time for us to start playing with the plasterboard. Now we're going to start in this corner over here, and you'll notice that the plasterboard is blue because it's made specifically to be resistant against moisture, so specifically for kitchens and bathrooms. I'm very excited to do this. I haven't done this before, and so here we go. Let's go.
Oh, no, you can do it all by yourself. I'm gonna leave you to it now.
We're going to try and get one board in each segment of the wall. The distance between each is about 118, and these boards are 125, so yet again thinking ahead. So we do need to trim them slightly. So I need to measure 109.5, score it, snap it, and then we have to cut out a section for the top bit. You ready?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it worked.
Well done.
I don't normally sound like that. I did put that weird voice on.
No, he sounds like this all the time.
What? No, never. I did just hear a motorbike go down.
We had to stop because we got our first ever post. Their seats. So I had to, and it's the same postman every time, so I want to introduce myself and he knew then who we
we've
were
been really
and
lame
where.
and used someone else's address the whole time we've been here.
Yeah,
so,
because it's more established, but because we're like not in the middle of nowhere, but almost. But now the postman knows that we're here. We get stuff done.
Okay,
Very
so
exciting.
just to make things more complicated, this plasterboard needs to come behind these pipes. Yeah, there's a little bit more room to play with there. Alright.
Okay?
Go. Yeah. I just need to score.
As you guys will know, we're very big fans of portable power stations, and we find them really useful to have them at home. And today we're going to present to you the latest Anker Solix F2000, and I'm going to show you all of its versatility and its amazing power. With the Anker Solix F2000 you can power high demand tools like a circular saw or a rail saw with no problems. And of course, it has no problem operating other tools such as the orbital sander, an angle grinder, or a drill. But it's also not about construction, it's super useful in the home as well to power your appliances. Doing laundry becomes hassle-free. It can even power your washing machine, giving you convenience wherever you are. Imagine having a hot shower even when you're off-grid. The Anker Solix F2000 can power a heating system, ensuring you never miss out on comfort. And when it's time for a cup of tea, just plug in your kettle to it and enjoy a hot beverage, no matter where you are. But what sets the Anker Solix F2000 apart? Let's have a look at its amazing features. With its 2048 watt-hour capacity and 2400 watt AC output, the Anker Solix F2000 provides a massive amount of power. It's equipped with the latest lithium phosphate batteries, ensuring durability in a lifespan of up to 10 years with everyday use. It features 3 USB-C ports, 2 USB-A ports, 3 AC plugs in the UK and EU version and 4 in the North American version. It also has 2 car plug chargers for other appliances. Plus, it can be expanded to a whopping 4096 watt-hour capacity, making it a reliable power source for any situation. With a handy bag to store your cables. Inside you will find how to charge your battery. You can charge it by direct AC input or by solar power. It even comes with an extension so you can charge it with a maximum of 1000 watt of input. The Anker Solix F2000 also comes with an amazing warm light feature, perfect for illuminating your camping adventures or working in places without electricity. It's super portable with an easy-tow retractable handle and durable wheels, making it easy to transport even on uneven terrain. So if you would like more information about Anker products or the latest Solix F2000, why don't you click on the link below and see what savings you can get today. You can get up to £850 off during Prime Week sale with 30 days price match. Sick of waiting? It is now the best price guaranteed. Go purchase and start enjoying it ahead of everyone. Thank you so much to Anker for sponsoring this video, which helps fund our renovation and also make videos like this. Aye. After an afternoon of cutting the second board, we actually call it quits. It was getting hotter outside and we weren't used to it just yet. We had very hot sunny days but cooler nights, so the change of temperature were throwing us off, starting to work later, but then realizing the old trick of the cold country with a hot sun: start early, pause during the afternoon and then restart after about 4 o'clock. It's not unusual to hear people work here 7 and 8 p.m. sometimes, screaming or maybe chopping wood. We just needed to get used to our new rhythm.
Not that bad, it could be better. That's not very clean, but we'll have to fix it afterwards. This is going to be 2 different plugs actually. Might put the other one over here.
Then we worked on the third board. We started on this wall because it was the easiest with the least amount of scoring to do. We were working with 9mm plasterboard, which was 2.5 meters by 1.25 meters. So they were a little bit on the heavy side. Normally you wouldn't really choose plasterboard with this kind of structure, you know, made with unseasoned wood, which is probably 0 chance of a straight edge, but we just didn't have the budget for the more obvious and preferable choice, Tone and Groove. Tone and Groove here is about 16 euros per square meter, the one indoors, while plasterboard is about 5.50 euros per square meter. even with the plaster, it will still work out to be a lot cheaper. As we rather spend on good finishes on this side of the build, we chose plasterboard. But oh boy, was it tricky to work with.
We need to take this off and pull it back slightly.
Why?
Because we need to put over here where the things are.
We have to pull it out just to mark where all the studs are. So like what we did there.
And we have a really heavy one. Like here, we want to have the option of putting a shelf to put our books, and so we need to have quite a lot of support behind the wall there to hold the weight. I actually already marked it with my forehead. See, if you go right over here,
Oh my god.
just in case, I had it with my forehead. That's how technical we are around here.
Got to dig out all this clay. I don't want to do that and have some wood down there.
Can I help you with anything?
It's up to you. Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Then it's up to, this loose clay's got to be picked out.
Yeah.
Any loose rocks have got to be picked out.
Okay. So we left this wall bare so we can show you from the very beginning how it is done. First you have to take off all the loose stones, clay, cobwebs and all pointing that may be in there, as this will impede for any new render to stick to the stone. Rendering is done in 3 coats: a coarse coat, a slightly textured coat and a smooth coat. This is the first coat, and the mixture for the masa is this: 3 buckets of coarse sand and 1 bucket of lime, then add water until creating the right consistency. Then you have to wet your wall. We use a brush and a bucket of water to wet it. If it gets too wet, no problem, just wet a bit until the water dries enough to start rendering. You work in zones, so you don't get to a point where it's too dry for the render to stick to. And flick slightly upwards.
Just practice, you'll get it. It's difficult to explain.
I'll watch you.
I've sort of done this bit now.
Oh, you very quick.
Like, get a little bit and bang. Like that. Bang it in there. So if you're aiming there, get it up under there, like that. Boom.
It's very good. Hold it through here.
Like that. And obviously if you were trying to get into a long gap, you could do a longer bit. Like that.
Oh,
If you're doing a round bit, you can do it like that.
okay. After trying to do this for about 10 minutes and realizing I was wasting materials and probably failing more than succeeding, this is well harder than it looks, I left Simon to continue. Then I went to Omar's to check out what he was up to.
And put your hand at the bottom over here. Okay, now there we go.
Is this your favorite part?
No, you can do this bit.
I think you really enjoy it. This is the bottom part.
Yeah, that's the bit I wanted.
This is the bit you want.
Yeah, that's the 61, I think.
Okay.
Okay, so right now, before I can put these walls in the back, I actually have to sort the floor out because the wall is going to stop the floor from being able to come out. And at the moment I haven't cut a hole for the toilet, so that's why I got the toilet out, so I can see how it's all going to join up. And the reason I bought this toilet is that it had the most options, so you can plug it in through vertically or horizontally. Let's see if we can get a hole on the floor. 17 and a half. Ah! Like a rasp. Wow, this is sharp as an apple.
Yeah, we got a hole.
Bit in there, it goes straight into another pipe. And then we need to silicone it all, and I think I might call it a day. I'm really hot.
Then it was time to render the doorway as we needed to order the frame very soon. We actually found a very beautiful door on Facebook Marketplace for €100 that we need to restore. Also, the doorway is about 110 centimeters wide, so we decided to get a wooden frame with a side glass feature. The doorway is shuttered with those very useful metal panels that we took out from the container, so they're going to be a very straight, nice and smooth finish.
Okay, so we have drainage for the sink, cold water, hot water. Okay, quick recap. So, lots of stuff has happened recently. We had the septic tank in, I've been doing lots of groundwork, lots of pipe work, so finally it's at a point now that I can come back to here, try and get most of the plasterboard finished, and also try and install the toilet. So I've got all my pipe underneath there, and I'm trying to line it up now with the correct place for the toilet for it all to join in. Yeah, I can't say I've done this before, so it's a lot of trial and error, so I'm doing like a little bit and then trying it out a little bit. Hopefully it will go in now. So yeah, I'm going to do that now, see if I get the toilet installed. After that I need to do the same thing with the shower basin and also put the drainage in for the bathroom sink. Once those things are in, I can continue with the plasterboard, especially in the bathroom. Let's try and get this thing finished before the summer, basically. So like normally when you trim these pipes, you trim them in a really nice environment that you can get a straight cut, but then you also like taper the edges, you know, like, so kind of like make them sharp so they fit into the rubber area, the flange, using lots of Vaseline. So I'm going to try and taper these edges that are down here because I cut this very roughly. So I've got some 80 sandpaper here, hopefully this will sort it out. Hopefully this will sort it. Come on man, you can do it. Oh yeah! There we go. There we go, tight. That is tight. Okay. So now is the moment of truth when I put the thing on top. It's supposed to line up to this. That's kind of gonna go in there. We need some adapters. Okay. It's not perfect. When this gets lifted up, it's out by about 3 centimeters, which is not good. Well, it's actually fine because it's trial and error. So, I don't really want to cut this thing again. Okay, so the only solution I could find really was to enlarge the hole in the back. And luckily this thing is quite flexible, it allows you to move around a bit, but it does mean that we'll have a bit of a gap. And we're going to have lots of little gaps that we need to fill later. So unfortunately it's never perfect first time, but it was pretty close in my opinion, so I'm not that sad about it. Okay, so I'm going to enlarge that. Got my goggles, got my jigsaw, made my lines. Let's do it. That's looking a lot better. There's probably much easier ways to do all of this. You know what? What I'm going to do? Pull this all up. I need some more stones under there to keep this secure. I noticed that over here the floor would only be supported by 3 sides and not by here. So I'm just, I've got this handy little offcut. I'm going to position it over there. And so it will give the toilet extra support. I've made like a little support for the tube so it doesn't move. Maybe a big animal doesn't run down there and knock it or something. So it should all be attached. So we all need a little extra support, including a toilet tube. Hey, that's not so bad actually. I have a feeling I will need to shorten it considerably. But anyway, it's okay. We'll fix that another day. That's going to be my view.
Then it was time to open the hole for the shower drain and the sink, which was pretty much the same procedure. Before that though, we added some extra support on the walls to eventually fit a shower door.
I'd say that's bang on. That's workable. Yes, we're good. Basically this is where the shower is going to go, and I've had to think a lot about how this is all going to work. So obviously you're going to have your shower controllers over here. These can't be floating around, they need to kind of be quite secure. Normally they're in a wall or something. So what I've done is I've made this little frame that's going to fit in over here. I've built these 2 little things that are going to be held behind the frame, and so these bits are going to be exposed actually, and then the other thing is going to clamp them together, and there's a piece of wood in the middle over here which is going to hold it all together. Alright, so here it is, my little frame over there, and this is going to sit behind the wall, and the water is going to come in from behind it over there. So the water's going to come in from there, and these are going to stick out through the plasterboard, and that's what's going to attach to the shower adapter. Okay, we have the bracket in. good enough for you? What's good enough for me? Pretty solid if you ask me. So these are 15 centimeters away from each other. And now I have to put some plasterboard and get these babies to stick out. Which sounds easy, but is not going to be easy. Okay. Alright, so I got my shower parts. This is really a big moment of truth now, coming up, because I'm just about to turn the water back on. And I just hope that all my plumbing to this plasterboard, which has got maybe 20 screws on it already. We have 2 leaks. This one's still leaking. Both are still leaking. Yeah, they're both leaking like crazy. Terrible. We have a leak down there as well, so I obviously didn't do a good job.
Omar had a lot of trouble with these particular pipes. It took a lot of trial and error.
Oh, it's so frustrating.
He had to actually take the plasterboard several times.
I totally messed over here. This was over here very messy. So I pulled this one off the wall and I've remarked it so it's going to be a lot more accurate over here. Theoretically, they will land exactly where these need to land. Now the reason why it wasn't working was because this copper cap for the pipe, the previous one I bought, was faulty. It must have been faulty. Because I put the plasterboard back on and then it would always just eventually start leaking again, no matter what I did. Even though I put so much PTFE tape, it still leaked. So now I bought a new one. I've reinstalled it. I've reinstalled it over here. I've actually brought these out a little bit more now, and hopefully I'll have a nice clean cut.
Meanwhile, Omar was battling with the pipes. Simon fitted the drainage for my mom's room. We separated the sewage water from the toilet, from the shower and the sink. We also added some rubble to fill in the ground, and then Simon started to work on the shuttering for the concrete floor. Now that the shuttering is done and the mesh has been added, we're ready for concrete pouring. We still have to plasterboard a little bit more and we start to build the bathroom wall in my mom's room. All of that, guys, in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching and we'll see you next time.